Hey everybody, it is Elijah Muse here with Gifted Hands Music. So I just want to welcome you all here, whether this is your first time here to the channel or you come here regularly to find some new stuff to practice, to see some new song breakdowns, whatever it may be. Welcome to everybody. Here at Gifted Hands Music, we are dedicated to learning the language of music and loving every single step of the process. So today we have a great lesson for you. We are going to be going over 3 essential gospel chord progressions. So this is for beginners to intermediate players. You may know some of these, you may not, but we have 3 essential progressions that every gospel musician and really every musician in general should know. So here we go. Let's jump right into it with these 3 essential chord progressions. All right, so let's jump right into this lesson here today. We are covering 3 essential, 3 must-know gospel chord progressions and movements, and we are going to be using the song How Great Is Our God to understand how these progressions work in the context of a song, okay? And then today we're going to be in the key of F major, okay? So our scale is 1, our F is 1, G is 2, A is 3, B flat is 4, C is 5, D is 6, E is 7, and F is 8 or your 1. Okay? So I'm going to play the song How Great Is Our God to give you some context of where we're coming from. All right, here's the beginner's version right here. All right, so that's the basic song. That is without anything fancy, without anything extra. That is How Great Is Our God, okay? And so what we have is some essential chord progressions that we need to pull from this song to understand, because you're going to hear them in other songs as well. So progression number 1 is going to be this. This is a basic gospel chord progression that you hear in so many songs. And it's just a beautiful little walk-up that you can do when you're starting a song or in the middle of it. It can be used in a number of places. So all this is in my left hand. Remember, I'm in the key of F major. So all I'm playing is my 6, my 7, and then my 1. Okay? 6, 7, and 1 just refer to the scale degrees, being that I'm in F major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Each note in the scale gets a specific scale degree from 1 to 7 or 8. 1 to 7, we'll say. And then 8 is the same thing as 1. It repeats. Quick lesson on the number system. So we have in our left hand 6, 7, 1. Okay? Very simple. And then all I'm doing in my right hand is I'm playing what's called a slash chord. So I'm playing a 4 chord or a B flat chord to my 5 chord. So these are both major, which is C, to my 1 chord, which is F. And then now all I have is 4 over 6, 5 over 7 to my 1. Okay? And then so when you hear people playing it a little bit more fancy, at least you now know, well, the basis for that is 6, 7, 1. And so all this is like stuff like that is the same chord progression and it's the same chords, but what people are doing are just adding color tones, or what you would call extensions, to the chord to make it sound a little bit more full. The more notes you add to a chord, with taste, disclaimer, the more color, the more fullness and kind of complexity you get in your sound. Okay, so now this compared to this, only difference is this note right here, this C. And so remember, my right hand is playing my 4 chord. So all they're doing is adding the note that's a whole step above the root. So I'm playing a B flat chord, I can add this 2, you'd call it, or the note a whole step away from the root. And then you can do the same thing on your 2nd chord. Remember, this was a C chord, so I can add this note that's in between my 1 and my 3. Okay? And then your 1 chord. So one more time, you can play it like this. Or you can play it like, okay. So that's my B flat chord with the 2. It's called 1, 2, right? And sometimes I just leave this out. And then this is my C chord with a 2 in it. Sometimes I leave out the C. And then my 1 chord. Okay, so that is essential chord progression number 1. Let me play it in a different key for you. Alright, so let's say we're in C major, right? Remember, the chord progression is, in my left hand I'm playing 6, 7, 1. In C major, A is a 6, B is a 7, C is a 1. Okay? So that's going to be my 6th chord, and then I'm playing my 4 chord in my right hand. So the 4 of C is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 4 chord. This is my 5 chord in my right hand over the 7. 4 over 6, 5 over 7 to my 1. Alright? And what can you do to make it sound a little bit more full? Take your basic chord and you add that 2nd, the note in between your 3rd and your root. You can add this. Remember, in between the 1 and the 3. Alright, so that is chord progression number 1. Your 4 over 6, 5 over 7 to your 1. So chord progression number 2 is what's going to be called the 2, 5, 1. And 2, 5, 1 are, those numbers refer to your scale degrees. So remember, each number, each note of the scale has a specific number attached to it. So our 2 for F major is G, 1, 2. Our 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is C, and then our 1 is F. So our 2 chord is normally minor. I'm playing a minor 7 chord. Our 5 chord is dominant, and then our 1 chord is major. All right, so let's see how this works in the context of How Great Is Our God. All right, so how great is our God. So 2, how great, is a minor. Great. 5 is our God. All right. So I suggest if you're a beginner and you're just really starting out with gospel music or trying to get better and you don't know how to play 2-5-1, learn this in every single key, because 2-5-1 is so relevant to all genres: gospel, jazz, blues, pop, everything, R&B. And what you can do with this is endless, right? So when you hear people playing things like this, if you heard something crazy like that, right? All of that is based off of 2-5-1s. All of it. It sounds complicated. It sounds like I'm doing a bunch, but it's literally all based off of just knowing this 2-5-1 chord progression. Now, I'm not going to explain exactly today how you can do that, but what I'm saying is this is a great start. So just learn your basic 2-5-1. I have another video on 2-5-1s. Look for that if you want more detail, or join Gifted Hands Academy for more detail. But what I'm saying is when you learn this basic principle, you continue to use it throughout your entire playing. These basic progressions that I'm talking about today, these beginner progressions, I still use in my playing today, right? You don't learn things to let them go. So this is a great progression to start learning. Learn your 2-5-1s in every key. Okay? So chord progression number 3 is going to be what is called the 7-3-6. All right, so we're in the key of F still. So our 7-3-6, or that's our 7-3-6, okay? And let me play this for you in the context of how great is our God. All right, one more time. How great is our God? Won't you sing with me? How great. All right, one more time. All right, so that is a 7-3-6. That is a 7-3-6. And so let me tell you what I'm playing. The chords are, speaking on the number system still, so our 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is E. Our 3, 1, 2, 3. A is the 3. And then our 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the D. So our progression is E, A, D. Alright? And that's from the key of F major. E, A, D, 7-3-6. Okay? So our 7 chord is what you call a minor 7 flat 5, or also known as a half diminished chord. So the easiest way to think about this, if you know what a minor 7 chord is, right? Play a minor 7 chord, and then all you have to do is take the 5th and flat it. Lower it 1/2 step, okay? And that gives you an E half diminished, or E minor 7 flat 5. Okay? So that's our minor 7 flat 5, our 7 chord. And then our 3 chord, I usually play as dominant, okay? As a dominant chord. So the quickest way or easiest way to think about a dominant chord, it's a major chord, and then you add an extra note, which is a note that's a whole step lowered than the root note. So A is my root note, I go a whole step down. I have to add that G to my triad, and that gives me a dominant chord. And then our 6th chord is minor, whatever minor chord you want to play, okay? So that is our 7-3-6 chord progression. And so this is common as well because it's used as a passing chord or a progression that usually takes you to the 6th chord, right? So a lot of songs, if you hear the progression is 1 to the 6 to the 1 to the 6 to the 1. All right, so if you hear that, then a lot of times they'll use a 7-3-6 to kind of add some more motion when you're going to the 1. All right, so that is the 7-3-6 chord progression. And so when you put all of this together, you get a fuller sound. You get in some common gospel chord progression that you can incorporate into your playing. And so just figure out ways to practice these. If you need help with figuring out these in every single key, if you need help figuring out how to practice this, then join or look at Gifted Hands Academy. We have lessons on how to implement all of these different theoretical ideas, how to implement all of these chord progressions and concepts into your practice routine. All right. So check it out. The link is in the description. I hope this helped someone today. I hope this blessed somebody. Until next time, Love you all. Hope you all keep practicing, keep growing, keep working on your craft. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will get to them as fast as possible, as soon as possible. But y'all have a great day.